The East African savanna is one of the most incredible places on our planet. As dawn breaks, the horizon glows with a fiery orange, and the first rays of sunlight spill across a sea of golden grass, painting the landscape in hues of amber and ochre. It's a vast, sun-drenched landscape of rolling grasslands, dotted with acacia trees that stretch towards an endless blue sky. The air is crisp and alive, carrying the scent of wildflowers and dry earth. This is not just an empty plain. It's a bustling, dynamic ecosystem. A stage for some of the most dramatic stories of survival you will ever witness. Every inch of this land pulses with life, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal. Imagine nearly 2 million large herbivores roaming these lands, from the towering giraffe, whose silhouette graces the horizon, to the humble wildebeest whose hooves thunder across the earth in great migrations. This incredible abundance of life makes the savanna one of the world's richest biotopes, a place where the circle of life unfolds every single day in all its raw and beautiful glory. At the waterholes, animals gather in uneasy truce, their reflections shimmering in the stillness. The air hums with the sounds of insects, the distant calls of birds, and the low rumbles of grazing herds. Listen closely, and you'll hear the soft rustle of grass as a lizard darts for cover, the flutter of wings as a flock of starlings takes flight, and the rhythmic chewing of antelope as they graze. At the very top of this intricate food web are the carnivores, the hunters of the plains. They move with silent purpose, their senses attuned to every movement, every scent carried on the wind. Lions, leopards, cheetahs, and hyenas are the apex predators here, their lives a constant test of strength, strategy, and opportunity. Each step they take is measured, every hunt a delicate dance between hunger and hope. But their power is deceptive. Their survival is entirely dependent on the vast herds of herbivores they prey upon. The balance is fragile, and a single misstep can mean the difference between feast and famine. This delicate balance means that even the mightiest hunter is vulnerable, living on a knife's edge between a successful hunt and starvation. The golden grass hides both predator and prey, and the outcome is never certain. This essay will explore the ultimate showdown, the constant battle for survival between the hunters and the hunted, the herbivores and the carnivores. Every chase, every escape is a story written in dust and adrenaline. We'll delve into which group is truly better adapted to thrive in this challenging yet magnificent environment. Their bodies, their senses, their instincts, each is a masterpiece shaped by the demands of survival. The savanna is a world of extremes. It swings between seasons of lush green growth, when the rains fall and life flourishes, and periods of harsh, unforgiving drought, when the land turns to dust and survival becomes a desperate struggle. Thunder rumbles across the sky, and the scent of rain brings hope to the thirsty earth. Every single creature that calls this place home has developed extraordinary adaptations to cope with these dramatic changes. Camouflage, speed, strength, and cunning. Each trait is a testament to the relentless pressure of the savanna. From the way they are born to the way they find food and raise their young, their entire existence is a masterclass in evolution. New life arrives in a world where every moment is a test, and only the most resilient survive. The herbivores have evolved to eat tough grasses and avoid being eaten, while the carnivores have honed their hunting skills to a lethal perfection. Each day is a contest of wits and endurance, played out beneath the vast African sky. In this incredible arena, we will witness the challenges faced by both sides. The tension is palpable, the stakes impossibly high. We will see how a newborn calf must run for its life within minutes of being born, its legs trembling as it joins the safety of the herd, and how a lion cub, born blind and helpless, relies on the strength of its pride to see it through its first vulnerable months. Bonds of family and cooperation are as vital as tooth and claw. We will explore the complex social structures, the epic migrations, and the life or death struggles that define existence here. The Great Migration thunders across rivers and plains, a spectacle of determination and unity. The savannah is not just a place of conflict, it is a place of incredible resilience and intricate connections. Here, alliances are forged, and every creature plays a role in the grand tapestry of life. It's a powerful reminder of nature's raw power and the relentless drive of every living thing to survive against all odds. In the savannah, every sunrise brings new hope, and every sunset closes another chapter in the timeless story of life. In the vast, sun-drenched savannah, the first moments of life are a breathtaking blend of vulnerability and instinct. For the herbivores, birth is not a gentle welcome, but a sudden plunge into a world where every second counts. A newborn antelope, slick with afterbirth, blinks in the harsh light, its tiny body trembling as it takes in the endless grasslands. There is no time for weakness, the open plains offer no shelter, and the scent of new life travels far. Consider the topee. After 8 long months of gestation, a female topee gives birth to a single calf, often in the early morning when predators are less active. The mother licks her newborn clean, stimulating its first breaths and encouraging it to rise. But danger is never far. Jackals and hyenas patrol the horizon, their senses attuned to the faintest sign of weakness. The mother stands guard, her body tense, ready to defend her calf with every ounce of strength. The calf's eyes are wide open from the very first moment, scanning its surroundings, imprinting on its mother and memorizing the patterns of the grass and the scent of safety. Instinct drives it to rise. Its legs, still unsteady, tremble as it pushes itself upright, sometimes falling but always trying again. Before it even tastes its mother's milk, the calf must master the art of standing. Within 15 minutes, the topee calf is not just standing, but running, its first desperate gallop a rehearsal for the countless chases that may decide its fate. The ability to run is its only shield against the ever-present threat of predators. The zebra colt's entry into the world is equally dramatic. Born with long, spindly legs and a coat striped for camouflage, it must quickly learn to balance and move, guided by the gentle nudges of its mother. Like the topee, zebras usually give birth to a single foal. The mother's attention is undivided, her every movement a lesson in survival for her newborn. The foal's first drink of milk is rich in nutrients, vital for building strength. With no siblings to compete with, it feeds freely, growing stronger with each passing hour. For these large herbivores, solitude at birth is an advantage. The mother can focus all her energy on protecting and nurturing her single offspring, increasing its odds of survival. The bond between mother and calf is immediate and intense. She nuzzles her newborn, guiding it to safety, teaching it to recognize her scent and voice above all others. As days pass, the young learn to graze, mimicking the adults, always under the watchful gaze of the herd. Every movement is a lesson in vigilance, every shadow a potential threat. For carnivores, the story begins in secrecy and shadow. A lioness, heavy with cubs, leaves her pride and seeks out a hidden den, far from prying eyes and rival predators. She finds a secluded spot, perhaps a thicket or a hollow in the earth, where she will give birth in solitude, her senses alert to every sound and scent. Her cubs are born blind and helpless, their eyes sealed shut, their bodies fragile and utterly dependent. They huddle together for warmth, their tiny cries muffled by the thick grass. For 2 months they remain hidden, their world confined to the den. The mother rarely leaves, risking her own hunger to keep her cubs safe from the dangers that lurk outside. This secrecy is their shield, protecting them not only from rival predators, but from other lions who might threaten their lives. A male lion, if not the father, poses a grave threat. He may kill the cubs to bring the mother back into estrus, ensuring his own lineage prevails. Only after this vulnerable period do the cubs emerge, joining the pride where all the lionesses share the duties of nursing and protection, forming a communal nursery in the heart of the savannah. For spotted hyenas, the first moments are marked by fierce competition. Cubs are born in underground dens, sometimes alongside siblings and older cubs from previous litters. With a full set of teeth and a powerful instinct to dominate, hyena cubs immediately battle for access to their mother's milk. The strongest thrive, while the weaker must fight for every drop. In the communal den, cubs of different ages jostle and compete, their social hierarchy established from the very first days of life. Aggression is a survival tool, and only the most assertive will secure the nourishment they need to grow strong. For the cheetah, solitude is both a blessing and a curse. A mother may have 3 to 6 cubs, each one a tiny bundle of spotted fur. She must hide them in tall grass, moving them frequently to avoid detection by lions and hyenas. From the very first breath, every creature of the savannah faces a world of beauty and danger. The struggle for survival begins in those first fragile moments, each heartbeat a testament to the resilience and instinct that define life on these wild plains. For the young animals of the savannah, every day is a lesson in survival. From the moment they are born, their world is filled with challenges and opportunities to learn, shaping them into the future survivors of this unforgiving landscape. Instinct, observation, and play are their primary teachers. Young animals watch their elders closely, mimicking their movements and behaviors, while playtime becomes a crucial rehearsal for the real dangers that await. The stakes are immense. For these youngsters, mastering the skills of survival is not optional, it's a matter of life and death. Only those who learn quickly and adapt will make it to adulthood. Young herbivores such as waterbucks begin their education almost immediately. Their first lessons are about staying close to their mothers, blending into the tall grasses, and recognizing the subtle signals of danger. Playful jousting among young males is more than entertainment. These mock battles, filled with headbutting and shoving, are essential for developing the strength, coordination, and reflexes needed for future confrontations. This isn't just a game. Each encounter is a test of agility and endurance, teaching them how to react quickly and assert themselves within the herd. These early sparring matches are vital practice for the day when they must compete for dominance, territory, and the right to mate. The lessons learned now will determine their future status within the group. Every clash, every tumble in the dust, is a lesson in both strength and strategy. They learn when to push forward, when to retreat, and how to read the intentions of their rivals. For young carnivores, the path to survival is even more complex. Their education unfolds slowly as they must master the art of hunting, a skill that requires patience, precision, and teamwork. Play among lion, cheetah, and leopard cubs is a vital training ground. Wrestling, stalking, and pouncing on siblings are all part of learning to become effective hunters. When lion cubs tumble and pounce, they are honing their coordination, building muscle, and practicing the ambush tactics that will one day help them bring down prey. Stalking through the grass, they learn to move silently, to judge distance, and to time their attacks with precision. These skills are tested and refined with every playful ambush. Even before they are weaned, lion cubs display a keen interest in potential prey, watching intently as herds move across the plains. Their curiosity is the spark that ignites a lifetime of learning. Adult lions often bring back live, injured animals to the pride. This gives the cubs a rare chance to practice their hunting skills on real moving targets, all under the watchful eyes of their mothers. For primates, social learning is absolutely critical. Young baboons and gorillas spend countless hours observing the adults, absorbing the complex social rules and survival strategies of their groups. Young gorillas, for example, learn to navigate their environment by watching their elders climb, forage, and interact. Through imitation and play, they master the skills needed to thrive in both forest and savanna edge habitats. They test branches for strength, learn which fruits and leaves are edible, and discover how to avoid dangerous plants or unstable perches, all through trial, error, and careful observation. Chimpanzees take learning a step further. developing and passing down unique behaviors within their groups. Youngsters watch adults use sticks to extract termites or crack nuts, gradually mastering these techniques themselves. By closely observing their mothers, young chimpanzees learn which plants are safe to eat and which are best avoided. This knowledge is vital, as a single mistake can be fatal. Over time, these lessons create distinct traditions within each chimpanzee community, with different groups favoring different foods and foraging techniques, a true example of animal culture. The black-backed jackal offers another fascinating example of family-based learning. Jackal pups are born into tight-knit families, where both parents play an active role in their upbringing. For many weeks, the pups remain near the safety of the den, relying on their parents for food and protection. During this time, they watch and learn, picking up vital cues about their environment. The adults, who form lifelong pairs, cooperate to hunt and provide for their growing family. Their teamwork is a model for the pups, who will one day need to coordinate with siblings or mates to survive. After a successful hunt, an adult jackal may swallow large chunks of meat and return to the den, carrying the meal inside its stomach. There, the adult regurgitates the partially digested food for the pups, providing them with nourishment and a taste for the prey they will one day hunt themselves. This method of feeding not only sustains the young, but also keeps the den site hidden from larger predators, as no leftover carcasses remain to attract unwanted attention. Through dedicated parenting and constant observation, jackal pups learn what to eat, how to hunt, and the importance of cooperation, skills that will one day ensure their survival in the wild. The savannah is a vast living banquet where every animal has evolved its own remarkable way of finding, capturing, and consuming food. Here, survival depends on both ingenuity and adaptation, and the feeding habits of each species are as diverse as the landscape itself. For herbivores, eating is a never-ending pursuit. Grazers like zebras and wildebeest move in large herds, sweeping across the grasslands in search of the freshest shoots. Their wide, flat teeth are perfectly designed to shear tough grasses, and their constant movement helps them avoid overgrazing any one area. Antelope, with their nimble lips and selective browsing, pick out the most nutritious plants, often feeding in the company of other species. This reduces competition and increases their chances of spotting predators. The elephant, the largest land animal, is a true giant at the table. An adult must consume up to 150 kilograms of leaves, bark, and grasses each day and drink 200 liters of water. Its day is dominated by feeding, sometimes lasting up to 16 hours. The elephant's trunk, a marvel of evolution with over 10,000 muscles, is both powerful and precise. It can tear down entire branches or delicately pluck a single blade of grass. Elephants even use their trunks to wash food before eating, ensuring it is free of dust and grit. Young elephants, still dependent on their mother's milk for the first 2 years, learn the art of feeding by watching and mimicking the adults. This early training is crucial for their survival. Across the savannah, herbivores have developed specialized strategies to avoid direct competition. Giraffes, with their towering necks, browse on the tender leaves of acacia trees, reaching heights of up to 5 meters, well above the reach of other animals. Their long, prehensile tongues strip leaves from thorny branches with ease. By feeding high in the treetops, giraffes carve out a unique niche, consuming up to 30 kilograms of leaves daily. This specialization allows them to coexist with other herbivores, each species finding its own place in the food web. Ruminants like buffalo, eland, and antelope have mastered the art of extracting nutrients from the toughest grasses. Their complex, multi-chambered stomachs allow them to quickly gulp down large quantities of food, then retreat to safety to chew the cud. This process of regurgitating and re-chewing maximizes nutrient absorption and minimizes time spent vulnerable in the open. But the savannah is not just a world of grazers and browsers. Carnivores play a vital role in maintaining the balance of life. For them, every meal is hard-won. Lions, the apex predators, feast on the flesh of antelope, buffalo, and even young elephants. A single meal can sustain a lion for days, allowing it to rest for up to 18 hours between hunts. Yet, hunting is a dangerous and energy-intensive endeavor. Lions must carefully choose their targets, often working together in coordinated groups to bring down large prey. The success of a hunt depends on stealth, teamwork, and timing. Predators constantly weigh the energy gained from a kill against the effort required to catch it, a principle known as optimal foraging theory. This calculation shapes their hunting strategies and determines which prey they pursue. The leopard, a solitary and secretive hunter, relies on ambush. It uses the cover of tall grass and dense thickets to stalk its prey, launching a sudden, explosive attack when the moment is right. Its powerful jaws and sharp claws make quick work of its catch, which it often drags into the trees to avoid scavengers. Other predators employ different tactics. The cheetah, built for speed, is the fastest land animal on Earth. It relies on explosive acceleration to chase down fleet-footed gazelles across open plains. A cheetah's hunt is a breathtaking display of agility and power, but it can only sustain its top speed for short bursts. Sometimes cheetahs form coalitions, usually brothers from the same litter, working together to tackle larger prey like wildebeest. This teamwork increases their hunting success and allows them to compete with larger predators. Spotted hyenas are the opportunists of the savannah. They are skilled hunters, capable of running down prey over long distances, but they are also notorious scavengers. Hyenas use their powerful jaws to crush bones and consume every part of a carcass, leaving nothing to waste. In the complex food chain of the savannah, every animal plays a role. Herbivores convert the energy of plants into flesh, which in turn sustains the carnivores. Scavengers like hyenas and vultures clean up what remains, ensuring that nothing is wasted and nutrients are returned to the soil. This intricate web of feeding habits and hunting strategies is what keeps the savannah alive. Each animal, from the smallest antelope to the mightiest lion, is both hunter and hunted, participant and prize in the endless cycle of life. Across the vast, sun-baked plains of East Africa, one of nature's most awe-inspiring events unfolds each year, the Great Migration. This epic journey is a never-ending cycle, driven by the relentless search for food and water. Over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by nearly 500,000 zebras and hundreds of thousands of gazelles, form immense columns that stretch to the horizon. As the dry season tightens its grip, and the grasses turn brittle and yellow, the herd sense the change. Instinct compels them to move, seeking the promise of fresh grazing lands. Wildebeest, zebras and gazelles travel together, each species playing a unique role. Zebras, with their keen eyesight and memory, often lead the way, while wildebeest, with their acute sense of smell, follow the scent of rain and new grass. Gazelles, nimble and alert, move alongside, benefiting from the safety of numbers. The migration covers a staggering 400 kilometers, tracing a vast loop through the Serengeti in Tanzania and the Masai Mara in Kenya. The herds are guided by the rhythm of the rains, always moving toward the next patch of green, their journey dictated by the shifting seasons. The route is fraught with challenges. Herds must traverse rocky outcrops, steep escarpments, and dense thickets, each step a test of endurance. Predators lurk in the shadows. Lions, leopards, and hyenas wait for the weak or unwary to stray from the safety of the herd. The journey is unforgiving. Many animals fall behind, succumbing to exhaustion, injury, or predation. It is estimated that 1 in 10 wildebeest will not survive the migration. The most formidable obstacles are the rivers. The Mara and Grumeti rivers stand as daunting barriers, their waters swollen and treacherous. At the riverbanks, herds gather in tense anticipation, the air thick with nervous energy. The first to leap triggers a surge, and thousands follow in a desperate rush. Powerful currents threaten to sweep the animals away, and the struggle to reach the far bank is fierce. Beneath the surface, ancient predators await. Nile crocodiles, some over 4 meters long and weighing up to 500 kilograms, lie in ambush. These patient hunters are perfectly adapted for the ambush, their powerful jaws ready to seize any animal that ventures too close. Motionless and nearly invisible, they wait for the chaos of the crossing to bring prey within striking distance. With a sudden burst of speed, they lunge from the depths, snatching the unwary in a violent struggle. The river crossings are scenes of chaos and desperation, as panic spreads and the herd surges forward. Crocodiles strike with deadly precision, dragging their victims beneath the surface. The struggle is fierce, and only the strongest or luckiest make it to the other side. Yet there is safety in numbers. The sheer volume of animals crossing at once overwhelms the predators, increasing the odds of survival for each individual. Before each crossing, the herds gather, sometimes for hours or even days, their tension palpable. The animals are alert, their senses tuned to every movement in the water. Hesitation is common as the dangers are well known, but the pressure from the herd behind is relentless. The mass of bodies surges forward and instinct takes over. Sometimes a single wildebeest driven by courage or fear leaps first and the rest follow in a thundering wave. This act sets off a chain reaction, and the river becomes a torrent of hooves and horns. The stampede is unstoppable, a force of nature in motion. The herd surges forward, each animal driven by the instinct to survive. The pounding of hooves and the spray of water fill the air, a testament to the raw power of the migration. Herding tightly together, the animals reduce their individual risk, relying on the confusion and sheer numbers to protect them. In this swirling mass, the odds of any one animal being caught are diminished. On the plains, predators watch and wait. Lions, cheetahs, and hyenas shadow the herds, ever alert for opportunity. The migration is a time of abundance for them, as the weak and vulnerable are picked off. The sheer concentration of prey draws predators from far and wide, creating a dynamic and ever-shifting balance between hunter and hunted. Lions, hyenas, and leopards patrol the migration routes, targeting the young, the old, and the injured. The vulnerable are quickly singled out, their struggle a stark reminder of the harsh realities of life on the savannah. The migration is a brutal filter, culling the weak and ensuring that only the fittest survive. Those that endure continue onward, their journey shaping the very fabric of the ecosystem. The Great Migration is the heartbeat of the savannah, a living river of life that pulses across the land. The movement of millions shapes the grasslands, fertilizes the soil, and sustains countless other species. This ancient, unbroken rhythm links the seasons of rain and drought, binding every creature to the eternal cycle of survival and renewal. The relationship between predator and prey is the driving force of evolution on the savannah. Every day a silent contest unfolds, one of instinct, strategy, and survival. It's really an eternal dance of adaptation and counter-adaptation, a kind of biological arms race, where both sides are constantly being refined by the pressure of natural selection. Each encounter is a test of wits and reflexes, where a single misstep can mean the difference between life and death. The predators act as a crucial force of nature, weeding out the weaker, slower, or less attentive individuals from the herbivore herds. A lioness, for example, will spend hours watching a herd, searching for the slightest limp or moment of distraction, a sign of vulnerability. This means that only the strongest and most alert prey animals live to pass on their genes. The vigilant antelope, always scanning the horizon, and the robust wildebeest leading the charge, are the ones who survive the relentless gauntlet of the savannah. In turn, prey that becomes harder to catch ensures that only the fastest, smartest, and most effective hunters are successful enough to reproduce, passing on their own superior hunting traits. A cheetah's explosive sprint is matched by the zigzagging escape of a gazelle, each pushing the other to new extremes. This co-evolutionary dance hones the skills of both hunter and hunted to a razor's edge. Sometimes a tense standoff ends with a sudden burst of speed or a clever feint that leaves the predator empty-pawed. To survive, herbivores have developed an impressive arsenal of defensive mechanisms. Wildebeest and zebra form tight, swirling herds, confusing predators with their numbers and movement. Antelope blend into the tall grass, vanishing in plain sight. Their senses are, honestly, incredibly keen. A single flick of an ear or a widening of the eyes can signal danger to the entire group. Many, like the wildebeest and zebra, have eyes positioned on the sides of their heads, giving them a wide field of vision to scan for danger from almost any angle. Even as they graze, their gaze sweeps the landscape for the faintest sign of movement. Their large, mobile ears can pivot like radar dishes to pinpoint the faintest sound of a snapping twig that might betray a stalking predator. A sudden hush in the herd, and every animal is on high alert. Their primary defense, however, is living in large herds. The collective vigilance of hundreds of eyes and ears creates a living alarm system. This provides safety in numbers. With so many on watch, it is much harder for a predator to approach undetected. When one animal bolts, the entire herd erupts in a thunder of hooves, overwhelming the senses of any would-be attacker. If a predator is spotted, the prey might even confront it, snorting and stamping to show the hunter it has lost the element of surprise and should move on. Sometimes a wall of horns and hooves is enough to turn the tables, forcing the predator to retreat. Predators, meanwhile, must overcome these defenses with their own specialized strategies. A lioness will crouch low, using every tuft of grass as cover, inching forward with infinite patience until the moment to strike arrives. The social structure of many carnivores is built around maximizing hunting success. Wild dogs coordinate with astonishing precision, fanning out to drive prey into an ambush, while hyenas use teamwork and endurance to wear down their quarry. Lions, for example, often hunt in coordinated groups. Each lioness has a role. Some drive the prey, others wait in ambush, and together they encircle their target, cutting off every escape route. The lionesses, who are more agile than the larger males, will work together to surround and ambush prey, a tactic that greatly increases their chances of bringing down a large animal like a buffalo or a giraffe. Sometimes a single miscalculation leads to a dangerous counterattack, and the hunters must retreat, nursing wounds and learning from the encounter. Among hyenas, a complex social hierarchy dictates the order of life. The matriarch leads the clan, and every member knows its place, from the boldest hunter to the youngest cub. A dominant female leads the clan, and social status, learned from a very young age, determines everything, including who gets to eat first at a kill. Young hyenas watch and learn, practicing their own hunting skills in mock battles and playful chases. Sharing food, or fighting for it, constantly reinforces these vital social bonds. A successful hunt is not just about feeding, but about maintaining the unity and strength of the group. Competition between different predator species is also intense. A single carcass can attract a host of rivals, each with its own tactics for claiming the prize. The savannah is a tough neighborhood, and a successful hunt is never guaranteed to end in a meal. Sometimes a lion returns empty-pawed, while vultures and jackals circle, waiting for their own chance. A cheetah, for example, must eat its kill quickly. Every muscle is tense, every sense alert as it gulps down its meal, knowing that danger could arrive at any moment. After an exhausting high-speed chase, it is vulnerable, and a clan of hyenas will not hesitate to move in and steal its hard-won prize. The cheetah's instinct is to avoid confrontation, valuing speed and agility over brute force. The cheetah, valuing its life and avoiding a career-ending injury, will almost always give way. Its survival depends on knowing when to fight and when to flee. Similarly, Lions, as the apex predators, will dominate any kill site, often stealing carcasses from hyenas or even from crocodiles that have dragged a wildebeest from the river. Their presence alone is enough to send other predators scattering. This constant struggle for resources is a key part of the dynamic balance of life on the plains. Every animal, from the smallest gazelle to the mightiest lion, is shaped by the instincts and strategies that have allowed its ancestors to survive in this ever-changing arena. Here, the story of predator and prey is written anew each day in the dust and grass of the savannah. The social fabric of the savannah is as intricate and diverse as the animals themselves. Here, every species has evolved its own unique way of living, communicating and surviving together or alone on these vast plains. For many herbivores, life is a communal affair. Herds of antelope and wildebeest can number in the thousands, moving as one across the grasslands in search of food and water. Living in a group or a herd is a fundamental survival strategy. Each member benefits from the collective vigilance of the group, as many eyes and ears are always on the lookout for danger. Within these herds, social hierarchies emerge. A dominant male cob antelope, for instance, will expend enormous energy to assemble and defend a large harem of females using displays, vocalizations, and even scent marking to assert his status. His strength and dominance ensure not only his own reproductive success, but also the protection of the group. Subtle body language, postures, and even the flick of a tail can communicate intent or warn of threats. Within a herd of zebras or wildebeest, the collective vigilance of hundreds of individuals provides a powerful defense system. Alarm calls ripple through the group at the first sign of a predator, triggering a wave of movement and confusion that can foil even the most determined hunter. A single animal on its own is an easy target, but as part of a massive, moving group, its chances of survival increase dramatically. The confusion of the herd, combined with coordinated running and sudden changes in direction, can make it nearly impossible for predators to single out a victim. For carnivores, social structures are often tied to hunting and raising young. Lions and wild dogs rely on teamwork, using complex vocalizations, body signals, and coordinated movements to outmaneuver their prey. A lion pride is a complex family unit, bound together by blood and social bonds. Each member has a role, from hunting to cub rearing to defending the pride's territory. The core of the pride consists of related females who cooperate to hunt, raise their cubs, and defend their territory. Their communication is subtle and sophisticated, ranging from low grunts and roars to tactile signals like grooming and nuzzling. While females often control the day-to-day activities, it is the dominant males who are responsible for protecting the pride from rival males. Their deep roars can be heard for miles, serving as both a warning and a declaration of ownership. The mating process itself reflects this social dynamic. Courtship involves a series of vocalizations, scent exchanges, and physical interactions that reinforce bonds and signal readiness. A lioness in heat requires extensive courting from a male. Their interactions are filled with subtle cues, rubs, licks, and gentle bites that communicate trust and acceptance. They will mate frequently, sometimes every 20 minutes for a day or two, a behavior that is necessary to trigger ovulation in the female. This repeated interaction not only ensures conception but also strengthens the pair's social connection. This intense period of bonding ensures the male's paternity and strengthens the social ties that hold the pride together. Grooming and close contact reinforce relationships and reduce tension within the group. In stark contrast to the cooperative life of the lion is the solitary existence of the leopard. These elusive cats are masters of stealth and independence. Leopards are the ultimate loners of the savannah. They communicate through scent marking, scratch marks on trees, and occasional vocalizations, but rarely interact with others of their kind outside of mating. A female leopard will raise her cub, usually a single offspring, completely on her own. She teaches it to hunt, to hide, and to recognize the subtle signs of danger in their environment. For 12 to 15 months, she is its sole provider and protector. Their bond is strong, built on quiet communication, soft calls, gentle touches, and the shared scent of their hidden den. She must leave the cub hidden in a dense thicket or a rocky crevice for hours, sometimes days, while she goes off to hunt. The cub learns patience and caution, waiting for the familiar sound or scent of its mother's return. Every hunt is a risk. If she is injured or killed, her cub will starve. The stakes are high, and the solitary life demands constant vigilance and adaptability. This solitary existence requires incredible skill, strength, and resilience as the leopard navigates its world without the support of a group. Every scent, sound, and shadow is a message to be interpreted. Some animals, however, form partnerships that last a lifetime. These bonds are built on cooperation, communication, and mutual support. Black-backed jackals are a prime example of monogamy and cooperative parenting in the wild. Their pair bond is reinforced through vocal duets, scent marking, and synchronized movements. A male and female will form a pair bond and work together to raise their large families. They share the duties of hunting, feeding, and protecting their pups, communicating constantly through yips, whines, and body language. This teamwork is essential for their success. The pups learn from both parents, observing their behaviors and mimicking their calls and movements. While one parent stays to guard the pups in the burrow, the other can go out to hunt. Their coordinated efforts ensure that the young are never left unprotected. By sharing the duties of feeding and protection, they significantly increase their offspring's chances of survival. Their calls and scent trails help family members find each other across the open plains. Whether living in a massive herd, a complex pride, a devoted pair, or a life of solitude, the social structure of each animal is a finely tuned adaptation to the unique challenges of surviving on the savanna. Through intricate communication, cooperation, and relationships, these animals have mastered the art of survival in one of the world's most demanding environments. The ancient rhythms of the savanna are shaped by forces both subtle and dramatic. Seasonal rains, shifting winds, and the endless cycle of life and death. But now, the environment itself is changing in ways that test the resilience of every creature that calls this place home. Rainfall patterns have become less predictable, with longer droughts and sudden, intense storms. Water holes that once sustained entire herds now vanish for months, forcing animals to travel farther and adapt their behaviors to survive. Migration routes shift as herds search for food and water, relying on ancient instincts and the wisdom of elders. Some species, like elephants, use remarkable memory to find hidden resources, while others must adapt quickly or face peril. Predators, too, must adapt, as prey animals become more elusive and water sources more scattered. Lions and cheetahs refine their hunting strategies, sometimes traveling greater distances or hunting at unusual times of day. The territories of wide-ranging carnivores are shrinking, squeezing them into smaller pockets of wilderness. This isolation can lead to inbreeding, reduced genetic diversity, and increased vulnerability to disease. The lion, once the undisputed king of this domain, is in serious trouble. In just the last 25 years, their numbers have plummeted, and their presence is fading from lands they once ruled. Their decline is not just a tragedy for the lions themselves, it sends ripples throughout the entire ecosystem. The absence of an apex predator disrupts the balance, altering the behavior and population of countless other species. With fewer lions, the dynamics between other predators are thrown into disarray. Spotted hyenas, once kept in check by their powerful rivals, now rise in dominance, expanding their territories and numbers. This imbalance in the predator guild leads to increased competition. Hyenas, now more numerous and bolder, challenge cheetahs and wild dogs for food, often stealing kills and preying on vulnerable young. Cheetahs, already struggling with high cub mortality, now face even greater pressure. Wild dogs, too, must adapt to the new order, altering their hunting grounds and pack strategies to survive. The loss of a key species like the lion triggers a cascade of changes. Herbivores may graze more freely in areas once avoided, leading to overgrazing and shifts in plant communities. The entire web of life is affected, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal. Yet the savanna is a place of resilience and adaptation. Some animals adjust their diets, alter migration routes, or change breeding seasons in response to the shifting environment. These adaptations are a testament to the enduring spirit of life on the plains. Even the smallest creatures play a role in this evolving landscape. Insects, birds, and small mammals adjust their behaviors, forging new alliances and finding innovative ways to thrive. The savanna's intricate web of life is constantly being rewoven. Every adaptation, every shift in behavior, echoes across the ecosystem, shaping the future of this remarkable land. The future of the East African savanna hangs in the balance. Its fate will be determined by the ability of its inhabitants to adapt, endure, and maintain the delicate harmony that has defined this landscape for millennia. The story of the savanna is one of change, challenge, and the relentless will to survive. The East African savanna stands as a living testament to the power of resilience and adaptation. Here, survival of the fittest is not just a theory, it's a daily reality, written in every sunrise and every shadow that moves across the grass. In this vast golden expanse, every creature, from the tiniest insect to the towering elephant, is a marvel of evolution. Each has carved out a niche, mastering the art of survival in a world where the rules are set by nature itself. The herbivores, topis, zebras, wildebeests, are born into a life of constant movement. Their bodies are built for endurance, their instincts honed for vigilance. They run not just from danger, but toward the promise of new grass and life. They transform the tough, sun-baked grasses into energy, fueling epic migrations that shape the very landscape. Their resilience is measured in miles traveled and storms weathered, in the strength of the herd, and the wisdom passed from one generation to the next. Their unity is their shield. In numbers, they find safety, and in vigilance, they find hope. Each alert glance, each warning call, is a thread in the fabric of their survival. These herds are the heartbeat of the savanna, the foundation upon which all life here depends. The carnivores, in turn, are the architects of balance. Lions, cheetahs, leopards, each is a master of its craft, shaped by the relentless challenge of the hunt. Their presence is a force of natural selection, ensuring that only the swiftest, the strongest, and the most cunning survive. They sculpt the herds, keeping populations in check and the ecosystem in harmony. The leopard's silent patience, the cheetah's explosive speed, the lion's teamwork, each is a different answer to the same question: how to thrive in a world where every meal must be earned. Their lives are a cycle of tension and release, of rest and risk. Every hunt is a gamble, every moment of calm a brief respite in the ongoing struggle for existence. From playful cubs learning the ways of the wild to seasoned adults perfecting their skills, each generation inherits a legacy of instinct and adaptation, refined by countless trials. Predator and prey are bound together in an ancient dance. Their destinies are intertwined, each shaping the other in a delicate balance that has endured for millennia. Neither can exist without the other. The strength of the herbivores sustains the carnivores, while the pressure of predation keeps the herds healthy and the grasslands alive. This mutual dependence is the secret to the savanna's resilience. It is a system where every life, every struggle, and every triumph is part of a greater whole. The savanna's enduring legacy is its ability to adapt, to recover, and to thrive in the face of adversity. It is a living mosaic of strength, cooperation, and competition. Through drought and flood, fire and renewal, the savanna endures, Its cycles of life and death, of feast and famine, are the rhythms that sustain its wild heart. The legacy of the savanna is not just in its beauty, but in its balance, a balance achieved through countless generations of adaptation and resilience. As the world changes, the savanna's story is a reminder of nature's power to persist, to recover, and to inspire awe. The challenges faced by its inhabitants are many, but their resilience is profound. Each animal, each herd, each pride is a chapter in the ongoing saga of survival. The savanna's future will be written by the strength and adaptability of its wildlife, by the unbreakable bonds that tie predator to prey, and by the enduring spirit of life itself. The story of the savanna is one of resilience, balance, and hope, a legacy that continues to unfold with every dawn as life endures and the wild heart of Africa beats on. As daylight fades, a new world awakens beneath the vast African sky. The savanna, so vibrant and bustling under the sun, transforms into a realm of shadows and whispers. This is the domain of the nocturnal, creatures uniquely adapted to thrive in the cool darkness, where silence and stealth are the keys to survival. Nightfall brings relief from the relentless heat, drawing out animals that spend the day hidden from the sun's harsh glare. The air grows cooler, and the golden grasses shimmer under the moonlight. Eyes begin to glow in the darkness, reflecting a secret world unfolding, one unseen by the diurnal herds. The aardvark emerges from its burrow, its long ears swiveling for the faintest sound. With powerful claws and a keen sense of smell, it hunts for termites and ants, using its sticky tongue to probe deep into nests. Its solitary journey is a silent ballet of patience and precision, perfectly timed to avoid the gaze of predators. Elsewhere, the serval begins its nightly patrol. With oversized ears attuned to the slightest rustle, it stalks rodents and insects through the tall grass. Its leaps are sudden and acrobatic, sometimes soaring over 2 meters, to snatch prey from the air or ground. The serval's spotted coat blends seamlessly with the dappled moonlight, making it nearly invisible to both prey and predator. In the trees, bush babies leap from branch to branch, their enormous eyes capturing every glimmer of starlight. Agile and alert, they forage for insects and fruits, communicating with soft calls that fade quickly into the night. The savanna's nocturnal predators are masters of patience and camouflage. Leopards, elusive and solitary, become true phantoms after dark. Their rosetted coats melt into the shadows as they move silently through the brush, relying on acute night vision to spot even the slightest movement. Every step is calculated, every breath measured as they close in on unsuspecting prey. Meanwhile, hyenas gather under the cover of darkness. Their haunting calls echo across the plains as they coordinate with remarkable intelligence, using teamwork to track, corner, and overpower their quarry. Though often misunderstood, hyenas are among the savanna's most successful hunters, their nocturnal raids shaping the balance of life after sunset. Even the smallest creatures are transformed at night. Insects, spiders, and scorpions emerge from hidden crevices, their bodies adapted to navigate and hunt in the cool, damp hours. Frogs gather at temporary pools, filling the night with their chorus, a song of survival and renewal. Life at night demands special adaptations. Keen senses, smell, hearing, and night vision replace the reliance on sight and speed. Many animals move in silence, their footsteps muffled by soft earth and dew-laden grass. Camouflage, patience, and stealth become their greatest allies. Yet danger is never far. The darkness brings opportunity, but also risk. Every movement, every call is a gamble between hunger and being hunted. For the nocturnal, survival is a delicate dance, a constant negotiation between predator and prey, all beneath the silent watch of the stars. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal world retreats, shadows give way to golden light, and the savanna's daytime inhabitants return. But the secrets of the night linger, etched in tracks across the damp earth. in the fading echoes of distant calls, and in the silent resilience of those who rule the darkness. In the endless cycle of day and night, the savanna's story is never truly at rest. It is a world of constant adaptation, where every creature finds its moment to thrive, even in the darkest hours. As the sun climbs once more over the savanna, life turns toward its most precious resource, water. In this vast landscape, where rainfall is fleeting and rivers can vanish without warning, every drop counts. Water is the lifeblood of the plains, shaping the rhythms of survival for all creatures, great and small. From the mighty elephants to the smallest insects, animals have evolved remarkable strategies to find, use, and protect water. Some, like zebras and wildebeest, embark on epic migrations, following ancient trails to distant rivers and seasonal pools. Their journeys are guided by memory and instinct, passed down through generations, leading entire herds across hundreds of kilometers in search of the life-giving liquid. Others, such as giraffes, rely on keen eyesight to spot hidden waterholes shimmering in the distance. Their long legs allow them to cover vast stretches of land, but drinking is a vulnerable act, forcing them to splay awkwardly, necks bent low, always alert for lurking predators. Competition at water sources can be fierce. When the dry season tightens its grip, animals gather in uneasy truce around shrinking pools. Crocodiles lie in wait beneath the muddy surface, while lions and other predators use the cover of tall grasses to ambush the thirsty. Hierarchies emerge. Larger, more dominant species drink first, while smaller or weaker animals wait their turn, ever watchful for danger. Some creatures have adapted to survive with little or no direct access to water. The oryx, for example, can go weeks without drinking, drawing moisture from the sparse vegetation it eats. Nocturnal animals like aardvarks and porcupines seek dew and succulent roots, thriving where others would perish. Seasonal changes dictate the fate of the savanna. The arrival of rains transforms the land, filling dry riverbeds and turning dust into lush green. Temporary pools burst with life, frogs breed, insects hatch, and flocks of birds descend in a frenzy of activity. But as the rains fade and the earth cracks once more, a struggle begins anew. Only the most resilient survive the long wait for water's return. Water is more than a resource. It is the thread that connects every life on the savanna. Its scarcity breeds innovation, cooperation, and sometimes conflict. In the endless cycle of wet and dry, each animal's fate is written by their ability to find and hold on to this most vital element. On the savanna, to find water is to find life itself. Above the golden grasses and scattered acacia trees, another world unfolds, one ruled by the winged inhabitants of the savanna. Birds are the sentinels of these plains, their calls echoing in the dawn and dusk, signaling both danger and opportunity. Each species brings its own story, adapting in remarkable ways to the challenges of this ever-changing environment. Towering above all is the ostrich, the world's largest bird. Though flightless, ostriches use their powerful legs to sprint across the plains at astonishing speeds, evading predators and covering vast distances in search of food. Their keen eyesight makes them early warning systems for other animals, spotting threats from afar. High above, the African fish eagle soars, its sharp vision scanning rivers and lakes for the glint of fish just below the surface. With a piercing cry, it dives with precision, snatching prey in its talons before returning to its perch. These raptors are not only hunters, but also vital indicators of healthy waterways. On the ground and in the trees, the lilac-breasted roller dazzles with its vibrant colors, a flash of blue and violet against the sunlit sky. Feeding on insects and small reptiles, these agile flyers help control pest populations. Their acrobatic mating displays are a spectacle, painting the air with swirling color. Weaver birds, renowned for their intricate nests, transform thorny bushes into bustling colonies, Using grasses and twigs, they weave elaborate spheres that dangle from branches, safe from most predators. These communities are alive with activity, each bird contributing to the success of the group. Scavengers like vultures play a crucial role on the savanna. With powerful beaks and stomachs built to digest carrion, they clean the plains of remains, preventing the spread of disease. Their soaring flight patterns search for the smallest sign of a meal, often leading other scavengers to the feast. Even the tiny red-billed oxpecker has a part to play, perching on the backs of large mammals to feed on ticks and parasites. In return, the host animals benefit from a natural pest control service, a symbiotic relationship woven into the fabric of savanna life. From the ground-dwelling secretary bird striking snakes with deadly accuracy, to the flocks of quileus that move like living clouds. Birds are both guardians and gardeners of these plains. They disperse seeds, pollinate flowers, and keep delicate balances in check. As day fades and the air cools, the chorus of bird calls softens, signaling a time of rest. Yet, even in the quiet, the presence of birds endures. Watchful, resilient, and ever adaptable. In the savanna's grand tapestry, birds are not just onlookers. They are vital threads, masters of the sky who shape and sustain the world below. Beneath the sweeping grass and towering wildlife of the savanna lies a hidden universe, one bustling with the smallest of inhabitants. Insects and small creatures may go unnoticed, but they are the heartbeat of this ecosystem, shaping the savanna in countless, intricate ways. Termite mounds, rising like miniature skyscrapers from the earth, are engineering marvels. Inside, millions of termites work together, recycling dead plant matter and enriching the soil. Their tunnels aerate the ground, allowing water and nutrients to reach deep roots, a service vital to the survival of grasses and trees. Ants create their own labyrinths beneath the surface. Some are fierce predators, hunting in coordinated armies to capture prey many times their size. Others, like the acacia ant, form alliances with plants, defending their host tree from herbivores in exchange for shelter and sweet nectar. The savanna's night comes alive with beetles, crickets, and moths. Dung beetles roll their precious cargo across the plains, cleaning up waste and fertilizing the soil as they go. Their tireless efforts keep the landscape healthy and balanced. Tiny reptiles, such as skinks and geckos, dart between rocks and grass tufts, feasting on insects and avoiding larger predators. Their camouflage and quick reflexes are their greatest defenses, allowing them to thrive in this challenging environment. Spiders and scorpions, though seldom seen, are expert hunters. Some spin intricate webs between blades of grass, while others stalk the soil with silent precision. Each plays a role in controlling insect populations, ensuring no single species overwhelms the savanna. Butterflies and bees add flashes of color and movement, flitting from flower to flower. As pollinators, they are essential for the reproduction of many savanna plants, triggering the cycles of growth that sustain herbivores and, in turn, the entire food web. Even the smallest creatures face constant challenges: extreme temperatures, seasonal droughts, and ever-watchful predators. Their survival depends on adaptability, burrowing underground to escape the midday heat, synchronizing life cycles with the rains, or evolving tough exoskeletons to deter attack. Together, insects and small animals form the foundation of the savanna's complex web of life. They recycle nutrients, pollinate plants, and provide food for countless others. In their quiet, tireless ways, these tiny engineers and survivors ensure that the savanna endures, vibrant and alive from the ground up. Across the vast expanse of the savanna, plants are the silent architects, shaping the land and sustaining all who dwell here. Grasses dominate the landscape, forming sweeping seas of green and gold. Species like red oat grass and Bermuda grass have evolved deep root systems, allowing them to survive long periods of drought and quickly regenerate after fires, an essential adaptation in this unpredictable environment. Scattered among the grasses stand the savanna's iconic trees. The umbrella-shaped acacia is more than just a symbol. Its small, waxy leaves minimize water loss, while long thorns deter hungry herbivores. Some acacias even form mutualistic relationships with ants, offering nectar in exchange for protection from leaf-eating insects. The baobab tree, often called the tree of life, stores thousands of liters of water within its swollen trunk. During dry seasons, elephants and other animals rely on the baobab as a vital hydration source. Its fruit, rich in vitamins, feeds everything from monkeys to birds. Wildflowers and shrubs add bursts of color after the rains, attracting pollinators and providing food for grazers. Many plants synchronize their flowering and seed production with the wet season, ensuring that their offspring have the best chance to survive. Plants in the savanna have also developed defenses beyond thorns and tough leaves. Some release chemicals that make their foliage unpalatable when grazed too heavily, while others grow in clumps to shield their roots from trampling hooves. Beneath the surface, complex root networks stabilize the soil, prevent erosion, and store nutrients. When fires sweep across the plains, these underground systems allow plants to quickly regenerate, maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Without plants, there would be no savanna. They provide food and shelter, regulate the climate, and create the foundation for every life form here. Through resilience and adaptability, savanna plants ensure that this landscape remains a thriving, ever-changing tapestry, one where every creature, great and small, finds its place.